A young man arrives home to find something unsettling, his own body lying on the living room carpet. Next to it rests an envelope with a simple instruction, "Look at me." Initially shocked, curiosity soon replaces his fear as Alex discovers a flash drive inside the envelope. Without hesitation, he inserts it into his computer and is met with the sight of himself on the screen. The second Alex assures himself he's not hallucinating and urges himself to pay attention. The peculiar event traces back to a visit from individuals resembling the Men in Black. Rebecca, representing a private scientific research institute called Advanced Technologies, offers Alex an enticing proposition. But before delving into details, Alex must sign a non-disclosure agreement. Rebecca sweetens the deal with a substantial check. The following day, Alex is escorted into a car where he receives an injection that sends him into a deep sleep. When he awakens, he finds himself in a secluded, undisclosed location. Rebecca guides him to the laboratory housing the satellite, where Alex begins tackling Task 5. Despite 5 weeks passing, progress remains elusive. Rebecca suggests Alex take a day off, but he declines, consumed by his determination. One day, Alex experiences a vision wherein a young woman deciphers the same task. Following this vision, Alex suffers from a nosebleed and later discovers the woman's name inscribed on his bed's frame. Eventually, Alex makes headway in decrypting a portion of the code, revealing sketches of an enigmatic device. Rebecca concludes his assignment and arranges for his return home. However, upon arriving home, Alex falls seriously ill, attributing it initially to fatigue and stress. Yet the symptoms worsen, accompanied by persistent hallucinations. One day, two mysterious individuals confront Alex, questioning his moral stance on deciphering the code, emphasizing its potential consequences, the creation of a formidable weapon. Struggling with a headache, Alex requests the men to leave, prompting them to depart after thanking him for his responses. As they exit, Alex's condition improves momentarily. However, as he prepares to resume work on his computer, a call from Rebecca serves as a stark reminder of the signed non-disclosure agreements, hinting at the Institute's surveillance. An indignant Alex realizes the extent of their control. Just as he sits back at his computer, the lights in his house abruptly extinguish. Alex ventures outside and is startled to spot one of the interrogators across the street, whose body inexplicably starts to expand before his eyes. Terrified, Alex flees home and peers out the window, only to witness the giant's hand reaching towards his window. He cautiously extends his hand to meet it, and as morning arrives, Rebecca appears. Finding Alex at work, Rebecca is met with his attempt to explain the situation. He describes the visitors as beings from a highly advanced civilization existing not only in space but also in time, capable of observing events through a temporal window. Alex endeavors to convey the peril of the device they're constructing, warning it could spark a catastrophic conflict. Rebecca reveals her knowledge of Alex's illness, a brain tumor, attributing it to the Institute's placement of him in proximity to a radioactive satellite. Alex insists on halting the device's construction. In a desperate act, he retrieves his deceased body from his house, burying it in the forest before returning to his computer to listen to his future self's narrative. Future Alex laments the failure to heed his warnings, sensing impending doom. Recollecting the woman, a cryptographer named Beth, Alex seeks her out, but she initially rebuffs him. He pleads with her, revealing his terminal prognosis, 6 months to live. Eventually, Beth relents, disclosing she has 2 years left and acknowledging the weapon's destructive potential, suggesting the drawing originated from the future. Another character, Shearman, communicates with Beth through her computer, assigning tasks for her to solve. When Beth starts feeling unwell, a man helps her to bed and goes downstairs. There he witnesses glimpses of Beth's life in the mirrors, saying goodbye to her military love, receiving tragic news from his comrades, and contemplating suicide. However, his attention is diverted by a message from Shearman on the computer, leading him to respond before Shearman realizes it's not Beth and disconnects. Later, the man presents Beth with a bundle of printed tasks from Shearman, suggesting they form a puzzle with answers. Alex, realizing Shearman isn't affiliated with the Institute, implores Beth to help stop the dangerous project. Beth reveals her illness, which began after working with the satellite, causing hallucinations and thoughts of a future message. Alex returns home to find Men in Black waiting for him. Rebecca orders him to seize contact with Beth and make the most of his remaining time. Angered, Alex dismisses the guests, only to find his papers missing when he enters the house. Meanwhile, Beth observes a bright light at her home, worsening her sickness. The woman screams in terror and attempts to hide, while Alex seeks solace in alcohol. A message from Shefferman appears on his computer, leading Alex to suspect Rebecca's involvement under this alias. However, the interlocutor denies it. At that moment, the doorbell rings, revealing Beth at the threshold. She explains that Shefferman directed her there and provided blueprints for a device capable of neutralizing future technology. The couple embarks on developing a virus to counter the machine depicted in the blueprints they decrypted. However, their efforts are cut short when Rebecca abruptly arrives at Alex's house the next morning. Representatives of the Institute, aware of their endeavors, are en route. Rebecca discloses her true identity as Shefferman, hoping to thwart the device with their assistance. As cars approach the house, Alex and Beth flee through the back exit, while Rebecca is apprehended and injected before being taken away in a car. Meanwhile, all the gas burners in the kitchen are left open. That evening, Alex and Beth seek refuge with scientist Miles, who recognizes them from their work. Miles reveals that the satellite was not unique. There was another orbiting Earth for around 400 years. Apparently, unknown beings from the future anticipated humanity's evolution to decipher their message. The ancient satellite also contained blueprints for a machine intended to restrict humanity's development within the third dimension. However, when Miles announced his discovery, he was ridiculed. He speculates that the tumor in his head may facilitate this perception, enabling him to glimpse the true form of the humanoid. Despite his insights, his guests remain oblivious to the alien's presence. Alex suggests destroying the device to thwart the aliens, but Miles doubts its effectiveness, fearing the Institute could rebuild it. Erasing all data from the server becomes imperative, yet the Institute's location remains unknown. Miles, one of its founders, retrieves a map detailing its layout, offering a potential solution. At that moment, a loud bang echoes at the door, prompting the couple to flee, leaving Miles to contend with the agitated alien. Alex and Beth hastily make their way to the Institute's building, where they discover a hatch and sneak inside. Inside, they split up to improve their chances of finding the laboratory. Alex observes a guard exhibiting peculiar behavior, constantly moving backward, signaling that time within the Institute is trapped in a loop. Similarly, Beth becomes ensnared in this loop, realizing the futility of her attempts to progress. Despite this, she activates the bomb, but due to the time loop, she cannot escape the impending danger. Venturing into a dark room, Alex endeavors to carry the bomb further. However, he is intercepted by an alien that disintegrates him into particles. Moments later, Alex finds himself bound to a table, facing a humanoid figure. Believing himself dead, Alex is corrected by the alien, which expresses curiosity about human appearance and perception of time. The alien elucidates that linear time is incomprehensible and tedious to them, while humans are ensnared in a cycle of repetitive experiences. The alien ponders what would happen if humans were liberated from the constraints of time, speculating that they would evolve to resemble aliens in appearance, but their familiar personality ego would perish. The conversation turns philosophical, discussing the nature of death, human perception of reality, and the eternal struggle with understanding. Despite eternal self-analysis, humans may never fully grasp the distinction between reality and illusion. Each new birth brings forth a new reality, presenting humans with perpetual choices and challenges. Feeling overwhelmed, Alex is offered by the alien to return to a moment before he fell ill, armed with the knowledge he now possesses. Alex agrees, deciding he would not have accepted the job at the Institute, aiming to prevent the unfolding events. Suddenly, Alex finds himself back at his home, facing his computer. He records the events onto a flash drive, realizing the futility of altering the course of events. Recognizing the inevitability of existence, he places the flash drive in an envelope before collapsing to the floor. The last words on the flash drive are a warning from Alex to his past self, urging caution. Meanwhile, in his final words from the future, Alex implores others to move forward, leaving the past behind. If you like this recap, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more recaps like these.